So this must be what it feels like when the dominatrix cracks the whip. What do I mean by that? Well, the answer's in this video. Ducati Streetfighter V4S. They really whipped me hard, and I've got to admit I've never quite understood what people enjoy about being hammered by a dominatrix. But that's exactly how it went for me in the saddle of Ducati's Streetfighter V4S. It's a sweet little spot between pain, fear, torment, and pleasure. And that's something, I've ridden some serious machines today. If you scroll down and check the playlist, you'll know what I'm on about. I don't think a single bike under 30,000 euros, and all of them proper luxury toys. But this one topped the lot. That sheer brutality of the acceleration smashing into you, but measured in such a way that you don't end up crying out the safe word to your dominatrix, but instead saying, go on, push a little more, I can still take it. That you actually enjoy it, that you find it cool, beautiful, desirable when you twist the throttle. And that is just fantastic, because I'm here at the 1000 PS Hotlap test track on a tight little course where really only first and second gear come into play. These are corners where on the very first Streetfighter V4S you didn't even want to ride. It would have just been fumbling around something unworthy. But now even in these tight bends, it's a genuine motorcycling joy. The kind where, as a connoisseur and a lover of two-wheeled happiness, you click your tongue and say, mate, how good is this? But always with that wicked Street Fighter character pushing you out of your comfort zone, urging you to do just that bit more. What I find breathtaking is how well Ducati has managed to make this bike practical. And by practical, I mean that you can actually reach proper speeds with it. Curious about the lap time. Of course, some people will surely say, I don't like this performance-focused packaging. You've basically got here an engine plus frame parts optimized for shape and function. You can see it, it's all integrated, no nice trellis frame anymore, no little works of art. These are CAD-drawn, computer-calculated parts, each with 20 functions it probably has to deliver. Everything is extremely mass-centralized, everything optimized purely for function. And yet, they've still managed to make the whole piece look desirable. Naturally, the single-sided swing arm has probably fallen victim to this whole optimization craze, possibly even a cost-cutting craze. But at the end of the day, it works breathtakingly well. I'll try and slot it into place now. I just have to say, for the sake of completeness, before someone complains I left it out, rider assistance systems, braking zone, acceleration zone, you're basically riding right at the edge, on the limit. But you dare to do it because it just works so well. And I didn't even have to go into the race department for that. I was still in the sport mode with the rear ABS switched on, simply because, I don't want to crash. But even so, it worked incredibly quickly. And then there's the throttle response. Even in first gear or second gear, I could always choose lower revs, mid revs. It picked up beautifully. That big capacity engine, that V4, when rolling off with the anti-hopping clutch and the electronics, it all blended in so smoothly. You don't mess up your lines, you can hold your trajectory with breathtaking precision, set up the radius, and get on the gas relatively early. And you always hear people complaining, short straights don't mean anything, blah, blah, blah. For me, it's crucial that a motorcycle can put its power onto the tarmac in tricky, tight terrain. because those are the kind of bikes that will pass you on the Stelvio, whether on the inside or outside. And the Streetfighter V4S is exactly that kind of motorcycle. I can get on the throttle early here, it lays its power down onto the asphalt, then delivers breathtaking acceleration. Along the way, it casually pops 2 wheelies, the sort that make you absolutely soil yourself. But you don't have to back off. You just hang on, trust the IMU with your fate, and say, just get me back down to the ground in one piece. And that's exactly what it does. Criticism? Well, basically, I don't know, for example, when you notice a switch that wobbles a bit. At this price point, I find that unworthy. Like the starter switch, when you press it, it wiggles slightly. And yes, I'm a fan of the single-sided swing arm, but you've already heard that 1,000 times from other Ducatisti. Those are just 2 little things where I thought, okay, I'd prefer if they had kept it as it was. Otherwise, I'm a technocrat, and I can deal with the fact that this bike is clinically neat and tidy. Every engineer would faint at how perfectly Ducati managed this packaging for a naked bike. All the cables are routed brilliantly. Of course, you no longer have that charismatic steel trellis frame or anything like that. That was on the old Streetfighters, sadly no longer here. For me, I have to put the Ducati Streetfighter V4S into a new category. I have to file it away where bikes like the Speed Triple used to be, because this is now a motorcycle that works brilliantly on the road, that whips you, but one you actually enjoy being whipped by. And that's new. In the past, it could sometimes feel like a bit of torture. But now, in this latest, most modern version, it's pure joy. Doesn't matter if the bend is tight or if the straight seduces you at 140, this machine is a fun grenade that makes motorbike enthusiasts happy. That's my analysis here at our compact 1000 PS Hotlap test track.